Hello and welcome to this episode of I Don't Know Jack About Parenting, where today I'm going to be talking about grandfathers being involved.
So the big question is this: how are parents like us, who don't have a manual, who are doing the best we can, who feel as though we aren't enough, how are we going to raise healthy, happy children who we are proud of and still keep our sanity in that process? That's the question, and this podcast will give you the answers. My name is Ryan Roy, and welcome to I Don't Know Jack About Parenting, a podcast for parents who are being real with themselves.
Hey, welcome back to this episode of I Don't Know Jack About Parenting, where today I'm going to be talking about grandfathers being involved. So in an earlier episode, I shared with you the FBI Dads program at my son's school, and how I was excited that there was a program and how there really wasn't much of a program. I just want to share with you, a success story. At this point, the program has grown from dads coming and reading to classrooms. We have 60 classrooms in the school. We'll have a dad read to each one of those classrooms 3 times a year at this point. In addition to that, that's what the program was before I kind of took it over. Now we have dads come and have an interactive breakfast with their kids, where they share with them how proud they are of them. They take a selfie with them. Those selfies go up on a bulletin board. There's a topic of discussion. The one that we'll be doing next is leadership. So, and that program is about a 20-minute program where we ask them what they think leadership is. We show a video about leadership. There's it's an interactive conversation with their children around a topic that's important. So last year when I was putting these together, I got together an email list and I put it out on our school e-newsletter, and I got an email from a grandfather. He says, "Hey, I just want to know if it's okay if a grandfather shows up." And I said, "Listen, any positive male role model is the idea of the group, and we welcome anyone who wants to come and have breakfast with one of our students. That is that." So a couple days go by, the event happens. I happen to be at the school the day after, or the next week after the event, as the events are on Friday. And I walk out of the front door, and there happens to be an older gentleman standing there, and he says, "Hey, I've been waiting for you to come out. I saw you go in. I'm glad I caught you." And I'm kind of a little perplexed, like me. I'm looking over my shoulder. He goes, "Yeah." He goes, "I was at the FBI Dad's breakfast last week, and I'm a grandfather." I said, "Oh, are you the grandfather who sent the email?" And he goes, "Oh, wow. Like, you remember that?" I'm like, "Yeah, it's not every day I get an email from a grandfather asking to show up." And he goes, "Yeah, I was there." He goes, "I just want you to know that I feel blessed that my grandbaby goes to a school where they have an organization such as this." He goes, "Because there's too many broken families. And even in the close ones, there's not always an opportunity for a father to get involved at the school." He goes, "And you don't just, come and have breakfast and have a donut. You actually make us engage." He goes, "When's the next one?" And I told him the next one would be in a month. And he goes, I live, geographically 500 miles away." He goes, "But I'm going to try and make as many of these as I possibly can." And that was last year. Now it's probably about 10 breakfasts ago. Or maybe 8 breakfasts ago, now that I think about it. He hasn't missed one. Then every time he sees me, he shakes my hand. He thanks me. And he says, "I wouldn't miss these for the world." These are really good bonding opportunities to let the kids know how important they are to us men in their life. So thank you for continuing to do your work. The father-daughter relationship is probably the most broken relationship we have in this country. Therefore, it's the most important one that we must work on and build. And that's why I continue to do it. And that's why I continue to work on my relationship with my own children. That's why I continue to forgive my own parents for all their shortcomings, because I could focus on the things they did right. And I think they did a lot right, because I'm here and I like to think I'm a pretty good human being, right? I have my flaws. But overall, there's more good than there is bad. And I think that if there's more good in anything than there is bad, we're in a positive position. So my FBI Dads program that I'll be talking about here on a podcast quite a bit, because I have a number of those, if we want to call them the success stories. It's just important, fathers, to be involved at some level. But I'm going to encourage the moms to allow that space for your children to bond with a positive male role model. And even if it's not a positive male role model, and I'm going to say this, if it's the person who helped you create this child and they want to be involved, even though it may not be the most positive, let the child decide that. Because in their eyes, that's their father. And there's unconditional love from a child at an early age for their parents. Allow that relationship to play out itself. You don't have to play a role. Kids are bright. They know, and they will know at some point in their life who that person really is, without you having to protect them from that. Because if the father wants to be involved, allow him that space. That's my opinion. There's no professionalism behind that. There's just, kids are bright. They know right from wrong. And they'll figure out for themselves whether or not dad is toxic or can play a positive role in their life. We'll see you in the next episode.
Do you want to be the dad you wish you had? If so, go get my free book, Be the Dad You Wish You Had, at BeTheDadYouWishYouHad.com. Inside, you'll find my most effective 40 tips to quickly and easily transform yourself into the ideal dad. Go to BeTheDadYouWishYouHad.com now and get it while it's free.